There are many mysteries that surround the Great Sphinx. These include its purpose, hidden chambers, age, construction method, and much more. Of course, all of these mysteries have come from archaeologists and historians' curiosity about this great structure. After researching for decades on this structure, we finally have some answers that help us understand it better. So, if you are also looking for these answers, take a journey with us to uncover these secrets one by one. The last one will blow your mind away. Welcome to our channel. Like and subscribe to uncover more such secrets with us. Let's start with some basics, so we can set the stage for uncovering the mysteries of the Great Sphinx. It faces the rising sun and is situated in Giza, which is about 10 kilometers west of Cairo, and on the Nile River's bank. Many Egyptian rulers have also worshipped the Great Sphinx, as they called it, a part of the sun god. The Sphinx was given the name Horus of the Horizon, Hor-em-Akhet. Remember that this structure is only a short distance away from the Great Pyramids of Giza. Out of all the structures from the ancient world, the Great Sphinx is the largest one that has survived up till now. That is because the Sphinx is 20 meters in height and 73.5 meters in length. However, the ritual beard, nose, and some parts of the uraeus are missing from the sculpture. Of course, we know that the beard is in the British Museum for display. Besides that, the Sphinx's head has not been in good condition because of various elements. It is mostly eroded, and you can see faint traces of the original paint near one of the ears. Many historians think that Sphinx's face used to be painted dark red in ancient times. There is also a small temple between the paws that contains many inscribed stelae. These were thought to be placed by the pharaohs. That is because they did this to honor the sun god. The biggest mystery that surrounds the Great Sphinx is the age. John Anthony West was studying the Sphinx when he found various weathering patterns that indicated water erosion on the structure, rather than sand or wind erosion. However, these weathering patterns were only on the Sphinx and not on the surrounding structures. You might be wondering, how is that possible when Egypt is dry and arid? Well, at least 10,000 years ago, Egypt used to be a rainy wetland. Because of these findings, it was concluded that the structure is between 7 and 10,000 years old. However, this theory has been seen as highly flawed because, according to many others, the rainstorms in Egypt stopped long before the Sphinx was built. Besides that, no other structures had water erosion, and it was not possible that only the Sphinx was affected by it. Other people say that the Sphinx and its origin date back to 10,500 BCE. Of course, even this date is not accepted by Egyptologists, for many reasons. Because of this, the age still remains a mystery that has not been uncovered yet. If you have done any research on the Great Sphinx, you might have heard of the many legends about the secret chambers and passageways inside this structure. In 1995 CE, workers were removing a parking lot nearby, and they discovered many pathways and tunnels, 2 of which are close to the Sphinx. There are also various teams that found anomalies in the form of regularly shaped and hollow chambers, a few meters underground between the paws. the authorities did not allow any more examination of the structure. Unfortunately, because the investigation was stopped, we don't know what these secret passages are and what their purpose was. Even the secret passages will remain a secret until we can work on the Sphinx and find out more. However, this seems unlikely, as such work is not currently taking place on the site. A well-known Egyptologist, Lainer, has been working on this structure for a long time now. According to his findings, some parts of the Giza Plateau, including the Sphinx, make up a kind of sacred machine that has been created to harness the sun's power to sustain the divine order on Earth. He also suggests that Sphinx was not constructed piece by piece. Instead, the Great Sphinx was carved from a single big mass of limestone that was exposed when the workers dug a quarry on the plateau. Besides that, another question that has perplexed everyone is who built this great structure. Many researchers agree that the structure was built by Pharaoh Khafre. He used to rule Egypt during the Old Kingdom around 2600 BC. That is because the hieroglyphic inscriptions indicate that Khufu, Khafre's father, built the Great Pyramid a short distance from where the Sphinx was also built. Of course, Khafre had some big shoes to fill, so he constructed his own pyramid, which was 10 feet shorter than Khufu and was also the same distance behind the Sphinx. It is not just Lainer's research that indicates these findings. That is because Auguste Mariette, a French archaeologist, also unearthed a statue of Khafre that was life-size. The most astonishing thing about this statue was the realism. She also found a stone causeway's remnants connecting the Valley Temple to a temple next to Khafre's pyramid. Of course, the research did not stop there. In 1925, Émile Barrès, a French engineer and archaeologist, uncovered the Old Kingdom building, which is now known as the Sphinx Temple. All of these are clues that help us understand that a single master plan tied the Sphinx to Khafre's temples and pyramids. Because of these clues, everyone speculated that Khufu, or some other pharaohs, had built the Great Sphinx. However, during the early 80s, Lainer worked with Tom Aigner, a German geologist. He suggested that the Sphinx was just an integral component of the huge building complex by Khafre. Both of these researchers looked at the various unique fossils that created the limestone structure. According to the fossil fingerprints, it was found that the blocks that were used in creating the temple wall would have come from the ditch that surrounds the Sphinx structure. The workers used wooden sleds or rope to haul the blocks for the temple construction, as the Sphinx was carved out of stone. Of course, it is incredibly difficult to solve all of these mysteries as new evidence keeps coming up from time to time. There are also many other theories that keep surfacing about this structure. For example, one theory emphasizes that the Sphinx bears an incredible resemblance to Khufu, which is why he built the structure. On the other hand, another theory states that Khafre's older half-brother and the other son of Khufu built the Sphinx to commemorate their father. Many scientists also state that the Great Sphinx is much older than even we can anticipate because of the various erosion patterns and the causeway. The Sphinx keeps deteriorating because of factors that are outside our control. These include pollution, humidity, wind, and more. However, since the mid-19th century, restoration efforts have been going on to ensure that the Sphinx does not suffer more damage as time goes on. 15 years ago, authorities learned that the local water table under this structure was rising. This was because of the dumping of sewage in a nearby canal. Of course, the moisture from this spread in the limestone, and the rock began crumbling and breaking away. Of course, the authorities had to stop this problem from getting worse. That is why they installed pumps close to the structure so that it can divert all the groundwater away in no time. After all, the Sphinx has already suffered destruction, and it does not need any more problems after all it has been through. Nothing more can be done, but there are teams that are making repairs to the damaged parts so that they can look better again. However, not much can be done about all the erosion happening every day because of the climate in Egypt. Despite all these efforts, no work is underway to uncover the mysteries of the Sphinx right now. For all we know, these things will remain a mystery. Or they would have been uncovered by now. Egypt is drowning in ancient history, and this is just one aspect of the collective history of that place. Until we know more, we will have to accept that we will never get answers to many of the questions surrounding the Sphinx. Do you want to try and uncover more such secrets and mysteries with us? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you do. Also, let us know your theories regarding the Great Sphinx, as we would love to hear them.